we're seeing a Talon and a Kasten ban, as well as a Mordekaiser ban. Mordekaiser is a champion that we do not see banned very often, or picked very often. He's one of those ones that doesn't make too many appearances in Dominion events. So I'm not sure if that's a targeted ban or if that's just they have a reason for banning. I'm sure they have a reason for banning, or they wouldn't ban someone. But Mordekaiser getting taken out. Talon, he's got a silence, he's got a gap closer, pretty good burst. Darius is a very durable champion and brings that true damage to the table, which is a really rough thing to deal with. Plus he has that reset on his ultimate. Any champion that has an ability to reset, champions like Master Yi, Katarina, Tristana, Darius, all very scary champions sometimes, because if they get to connect just right, they can easily mow down your whole team, and that's a really scary thing. You don't want that to be able to happen. Darius in particular is the best at it because he's so durable. He can usually live to be able to deliver that multiple ult or multiple ability chain, whereas some of the other characters, Yi, Kat, and Tristana, aren't quite as durable. They don't live long enough to really take advantage of those resets. And Kasten's extremely mobile champion. That's why he gets banned out a lot. Riftwalk he's so good at chasing. He's very good at being able to run away and escape ganks. He can come in from basically anywhere he wants to. He's got a pretty sick silence, and he's got a slow on top of that. Yorick's got really good bottom lane sustain, and so does Nunu. That's why those two are probably getting banned. And for picks, though, we see High People's taking Maokai. Maokai's another champion that has great sustain. We see him bottom lane a lot, but we see him top lane, too, pretty often, because that ultimate with Maelstrom, with that damage reduction when people are already sort of building a little bit defensively, that really helps out a lot. But looking at Team Trepidation's side, we see a Jax and a Pantheon highlight. We see Jax locked in. Pantheon maybe going to get locked in as well. Pantheon and Jax both have a stun. Jax is an AoE stun that's notable. And we also... Oh, no, going to switch over to Lulu instead. Ooh. I'm not sure. It could go either way. I know POOTYS is the most proficient at that style of play. I don't think there's anyone that really matches him. People, well, not people, but teams specifically, the top-end teams, Blind Pick, Banditos, Point Defense, and Pays Evelyn Child Support, both have anti-POOTYS strategies specifically for him because he's so good at what he does with that. And he might go for the same thing, if that's what he's best at. I feel like in a competitive environment, you'd want to go with what you were the best at, even if other people were sort of aware of it. Because then if you try and play their game, you're not going to be as good as if you were just playing your own game that you're already good at, and them having to deal with that. I'd rather them have to deal with the A game, regardless of if they knew it was coming or not. And seeing a Malphite locked in as well on Take Your Pill. Malphite, very durable champion, lots of armor. You'll notice that durability is sort of a theme. We mentioned durability a lot because you've got to be able to survive 1v1. You've got to be able to delay on a point to keep the enemy from capturing it. And that ability to delay is so vital. And those extra couple seconds, that makes all of the difference sometimes between getting an interrupt on a point that's being captured and not getting that interrupt. And that's part of the reason you see Revive being picked a lot, is because those seconds are just so precious that you need to make use of them. And we'll see what that gets locked in as in a moment in reference to that Annie pick. So Malphite's very good. He's also got attack speed slow in an AoE, which is very good because now seeing that Pantheon locked in over there, Pantheon and Jax is one of my favorite combinations to play when I'm playing not draft. Because they both have a jump, they have a gap closer with Leap Strike and Aegis, and they both have a stun that they can deliver. And that sort of leapfrog stun combination with their high melee damage it's just damned brutal. And they're quite durable as well with counterattack and with the shield that Pantheon has. I forget its name. I'm sorry. And both add to their survivability a lot. However, Malphite is able to take their power down a notch with that AoE slow. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Malphite go Frozen Heart Randuin's to help shut them down even further. And there is that Janna that you were talking about. I think that is a safe bet. I mean, Jax is also a very capable bottom lane champion. Some viewers might be familiar with Sauron playing Jax in that manner. So Jax can go bottom lane or top lane, but Malzahar, I think, is best suited to the bottom lane. So we'll probably see Malzahar bottom lane, Jax up on the top end of the map. Seeing a couple of trades going on each side. Looking like High People's going to end up with Ezreal, or as some people in the chat have referred to it as Schrodinger's Ezreal, where you don't quite know exactly where he is, but you know exactly what he's going to do to you. He can always be closer to you all of a sudden, so his range is a little bit further than you think. Just when you think you're out of range, he can Arcane Shift up and then unload on you. And just when you think he's in range, he can Arcane Shift back, and you won't be able to reach him, and you'll spend your skills and nothing will happen. Or you can just stop being there by Arcane Shifting over a wall, or suddenly be there, Arcane Shifting over a wall. Great, great champion to have on your team in Dominion. Seeing Flower Bridge end up with Malphite Take Your Pill on Maokai, and if I recall correctly, Take Your Pill is a rather proficient Maokai player, if I'm remembering things right. Ekis the Seraph on Diana, and I believe Diana is probably going to be their bottom lane champion. We've seen a lot of bottom lane Diana recently, and over on the other side we see Miss Mia Rose ending up with Pantheon, Toodles on Jags, Tempest EP with Malzahar. And I love Tempest EP's bottom lane play. I'm a big fan of that. And seeing him with that Garrison there, it's another indicator that he's probably going to go bottom lane. Revive Garrison is sort of the bottom lane combination. And I like the distribution of damage that they have. I mean, even though Mal's is probably going to be more of an attack damage build, his spells still deal magic damage. And you got Brand for magic damage, and you've got Pantheon and Jax for physical damage. So, I mean, what do you do? Do you count on Maokai, or not Maokai, excuse me, do you count on Malphite to deal with the AD champions and worry about mitigating the AoE that Brand has? Or do you worry about the two AD champions keeping you locked down with their stuns and their AoE damage with the Heartseeker Strike and the counterattack? I don't know. We're going to have to see how this plays out. and we're going to hit the load screen here and see who's got which skins. Love the art team for League of Legends. They're great. They're awesome, and they do art reworks and stuff too to help keep everything sort of like updated and kind of comparable to each other in styles and other things. I'd love to have these guys like paint murals and stuff, or just like sell like, oh man, if these guys had trading cards with the different skins you could buy at events, I would buy so many of those. I would run out of money immediately. There's rioters watching, do that. Make like promo little trading cards that have like, it has like a picture of Ezreal and like his skills on it, you know? And then on the back it has like the Riot Games logo. Oh man. Yeah. Those get snatched up. I'd love them. Just waiting to kick through the loading screen here, seeing that new Nemesis Jax skin there on Toodles. It's a pretty neat skin. And seeing Full Metal Pantheon. Everyone else is kind of rocking the standard Totemic Maokai. Let me know if when you load in. No. I found... Well, I found a pattern. When I have fraps on, I can see my frame rate. When the game's frame rate drops to 2 and then stays there, I don't load in. I don't know what the connection is, but that's how I knew to ask you. I saw it go to 2 and I'm like, wait a minute. So we're going to talk about what the opening items and things like that are. Do a little overview. And Crocodile getting shut down up at the top end of the map by the combination of Malphite and Ezreal. Mia Rose coming up to interrupt that. Isn't quite there in time to save the tower, unfortunately. It is the quest objective. They do not want to let that go. And getting taken down, but just trying to delay. And it looks like she was able to delay long enough for Toodles to get up to the top. He jumps in with the counterattack, though, takes a lot of damage in the process. But Crocodile is right there to throw down that AoE, that Pillar of Flame, landing pretty good on there. I guess the Seraph having to back on out of that. And now Crocodile getting chased rather, away from that point and getting killed, but not able to save that point, unfortunately. They were able to delay it for quite a period of time there, but going in 1v3, 1v3, 1v3 in a row, they weren't really able to secure the killing blows they needed to stop that point from being captured. POOTYS swinging around back behind the drill, getting caught with a Glitter Lance right there, taking some damage from Nyx, but then just kind of pooting on away from the point there. Both teams, neither one of them up in a position to make a move on the windmill right now. With POOTYS being chased around the map, Mia going for the Storm Shield, though, getting caught in a sandwich between everyone right there. Mia in the middle getting taken out now, and Crocodile and Nyx having to retreat from that point in the middle of the map. And while that was going on, Nyx and Toodles were both dealing with POOTYS over by the drill, so that did leave them one person down in that fight at the middle. High Peoples is going to be able to secure the Storm Shield, no problem. And right now, they can't really make a play for the top. They just have their support and Jax. So they're going to make a play down here for the bottom lane. They got Tempest EP down there pushing up on Maokai. Take Your Pill kind of gets a sense of what's going on. He's like, hey, wait a minute, everyone's Mia on the map. Where should I go? He's going to back off just a little bit. His teammate's getting in a position on the lower part of the map to maybe help him out in case things go bad. And Nyx comes down with Tempest to go deal with Take Your Pill. Tree turned into a small furry creature there for a second, but Take Your Pill doing a really good job of staying inside the Maelstrom, helping to mitigate that damage and just keep him alive longer and longer and longer. But he gets caught by the ultimate from Malzahar and taken down. POOTYS is able to go around behind, but Lulu no doubt is going to be able to deal with that. Toodles going up against 3 people up behind the windmill, going in for High Peoples, but High Peoples did have some backup there, but he is able to back on out of the fight, and Crocodile getting exhausted right there and taken down. High Peoples is just shredding it up here as Ezreal. Mia is able to take him down, however, though Flower Bridge is able to seal the deal by taking down Pantheon. The bottom end of the map, Nyx did had to go down there for a little bit of help dealing with POOTYS now. Take Your Pill coming to defend his turret as Tempest pushes up. There are minions on that tower, but Take Your Pill is able to clear them out pretty quickly, and just trying to get as much cap time in on that tower as they can. Take Your Pill taking damage in the process. He wants to help take out Nyx there with the help of POOTYS, and Nyx has to ult himself. Oh gosh, High People's almost connecting with the True Shot Barrage. Nyx is able to escape for the moment though, and deflect POOTYS from that play. And up at the top end of the map, Mia and Nyx went for the top point. Mia Rose with a very good Grand Skyfall in to begin capping that point, but POOTYS with that movement speed was able to get up there and interrupt before she was able to neutral the point. With a little bit of help from Flower Bridge and Ekis the Seraph, Malphite and Diana up there, they were able to take care of them. With them shut down up top, High People's Ezreal is able to make a play in on the drill. Malphite using that revive there to get back out on the field. A very wise decision coming in with that unstoppable force right into that fight. Mia Rose getting taken down, and now Toodles having to retreat from that. Things were looking pretty good until Malphite threw down that revive, helped really deny that play up at the top. We're having to use the ultimate there on Lulu to help keep Toodles alive as they retreat down to the drill, and they have to defend that point 2v4 if POOTYS' team wishes to dive that. Looks like they are opting not to do so. They are going to go ahead and use this opportunity to recall one of their champions to buy and do a little bit of work there. Flower Bridge is just kind of spotting around the speed shrine. He's hanging out. He wants to see what's going on there. Decides to pick a fight with Mia Rose, and Malphite is just the champion for that kind of encounter, because looking at Malphite, we see the Frozen Heart, we see the Sunfire Cape, and we see him now retreating from Nyx and Toodles. Toodles goes in with the Leap Strike, Pantheon cutting in behind with the Grand Skyfall, though, going in immediately on Ekis the Seraph right there. A lot of damage being put down, but High People's coming up to the fight just a couple of moments after it happens, unloading that damage, and a pause goes down. It looks like Brand has disconnected. Yeah, POOTYS has been playing pretty darn good this whole game. We've seen him in a lot more fights than usual. One of the things that's catching my attention here, looking at getting a chance to look at the items, is we're seeing a very high damage Pantheon build. Brutalizer, Sanguine Blade, a little bit lighter on the defense than we normally see. We just loaded out with a Hex Drinker, not a Maw yet, seeing a Glacial Shroud, not a Frozen Heart yet, and seeing a Ninja Tabby there. So going for a little bit less durable, but a little bit more damage output. And we have seen that in encounters, but we've also seen them focusing Pantheon a lot. They seem to be really aware of the damage that Miro's Pantheon is able to put out. And we see Pantheon getting shut down a lot there. Brand, however, has been, I think, the bigger part of this equation with the AoE damage, but I don't know if that's going to be able to carry them through the rest of the game or not. And last note I want to make on items is you see Ezreal seems to be their primary damage dealer. Diana hasn't really built a significant amount of damage so far this game. She got a lot of... And down at the bottom end, though, Tempest DP in the middle of Take Your Pill and POOTYS, but Crocodile landing a very nice Pyroclasm there, able to start a little bit of forest fire on Maokai and shut Janna down in the process. But Flowerbridge comes in with the unstoppable force and wants to get Tempest, but saw that Tempest was kind of backing out away from the fight, so it opted to not chase and instead put that damage on Brand. Take Your Pills. Maokai is over there. Tempest doesn't want to trigger that sapling at all, and we'll see if he's able to get out of that okay. He looks good so far, but Diana is coming down from the top. Nope, looks like she's hanging... Yeah, she is coming down at the top. Things do not look so great for Tempest DP. With as much damage as Ezreal has, you really have to put him down, but he is so good at being able to stay out of range with that Arcane Shift. And Diana, whose HP was a lie there, good ult on the bottom by Tempest EP, locking down Flowerbridge there for a moment, but wasn't able to secure the kill, unfortunately. Nyx A7 still defending that bottom point. And now the action moving over to the Drill as High Peoples is getting pushed away. But High People's Ezreal, lots and lots of damage, no durability all, but they just haven't been able to get to him. See Toodles right there, getting a nice stun off and just doing a lot of damage to him. High People's really just waiting for that Arcane Shift, or waiting for someone else to come in and help him out. And there, right there, you saw that. Diana goes in with the Lunar Rush there, pulls Jax back away from Ezreal. Ezreal is very killable, but his team is set up to protect him very, very well. Unstoppable Force goes off. Pops Mia and Crocodile up into the air there. High People is able to sit back and chip away at things, and this is how you play Ezreal in Dominion. Each person on his team has some way of being able to help keep him alive, keep the enemies away from him, so that he can deal his damage. Diana's got one, Maokai's got one, Janna's got one, Malphite, everyone has one, and with Ezreal's ability to just sort of kind of not be there, or suddenly be there if he wants to with the Arcane Shift, it's been very dangerous all game long. It's very, very well played Ezreal there by High Peoples. Also saw some good play all game long from Jackson Pantheon, but they really just weren't able to bully down targets like they needed to. They had good leapfrog stuns. It's nice solid initiation. Saw some great Grand Skyfall play. Tempest DP playing some good bottom lane, but they just weren't able to control Ezreal.